Alright, welcome to Talking Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk about a Bitcoin mining company that I think everybody is falling asleep on. This, to me, is one of the top 3 most undervalued Bitcoin mining companies. They're a very established company. They've been around a long time, and they did have a tough year in 2022. So they have been slow to recover. I think there's a lot of room to the upside. In addition to that, they just put out their monthly operational report, and they put out several other pieces of big news in the last 30 days, including a shelf offering that is massive. The company I'm talking about, of course, is Bitfarms. We talk about this company all the time on the channel, so they did just put out their monthly operational report. So I want to start with that, but I want to go through several other pieces of news, and I want to tell you why, in my opinion, I think this company is due for another leg up as far as the stock price goes. So let's get to it. Bitcoin's trading at about $1.62 right now, just a little bit under. So that leaves them at around a $391 million market cap as I'm making this video. So for now, I want to take a look at their historical market cap very quickly. November of 2021, when Bitcoin hit its all-time high, this company had a $1.35 billion market cap. So they've lost almost $1 billion in market cap since then. So obviously Bitcoin's nowhere near its all-time high, but Bitfarms is a bigger, better company. They're a much stronger company than they were, in my opinion, at that point. If you enjoy this content, please remember to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. It really helps the channel out a lot, so I appreciate it. Thanks so much. With that said, let's get to their monthly operational report. This was put out on July 3rd. Bitfarms mines 385 Bitcoin in June. So the first thing I want to reiterate is I've been talking about this for the last several weeks. All the Bitcoin miners' June results are not going to hold up to their May results. There was massive additional fees the Bitcoin miners got to collect in the month of May. So that number went way down. That was a bit of an anomaly. So almost every Bitcoin miner that has reported so far has reported somewhere between like a 15 and a 22% decrease in the amount of Bitcoin that they produced in June versus the amount of Bitcoin that they produced in May. Okay, so this is a chart of Bitcoin mined for the last 13 months. So basically that allows us to compare this June to last June and every month in between. So you can see as we look at May, they mined 459 Bitcoin. But like I said, all the Bitcoin miners got a big boost in May. So if we compare June to April of 2023, which was 2 months ago, you're going to see same number of days, and they actually outmined April. Despite the increase in difficulty, they were able to outmine April in the month of June. So that's kind of the benchmark, and there's another benchmark that we will take a look at. Each month we monitor efficiency, and that is the number of Bitcoin mined per exahash. So I think you're going to see that there's still several companies left to report, but it looks to me like Bitfarms, which has been either tied for first or alone in first place on this chart all year long. I do think they're going to finish probably in first place again, certainly in this grouping of these top 4 that have separated themselves. So they're going to remain one of the most efficient, if not the most efficient miners, just from the perspective of Bitcoin mined per exahash running. Okay, so let's go through some of their key performance indicators and their operational highlights. So Bitcoin mined 385. Their month-end hash rate was 5.3, so they did add 0.3 to their exahash over the course of the month. You're going to see their average Bitcoin mined per exahash was 77. So I do think that's going to be competitive, if not the best out of all the Bitcoin miners in the month of June. Bitcoin sold 346, so they mined 385, they sold 346. I think that leaves 39 left over that they added to their HODL position. They have been adding a small amount to the HODL position each month. They've talked about trying to increase that HODL position, so it has been growing all year. It's still only 549 Bitcoin so far, but I do think they're going to try to dramatically increase that between now and the halving. Some of their operational highlights we haven't talked about. They did purchase 6,310 machines. You can see it was various types of machines. They did get these at a very competitive price, and it's 28.5 watts per terahash, which is way under their current level of efficiency. So this helps them get more efficient. That's a combined additional hash rate of 748.5 petahash, and they paid $13.68 per terahash, so that's also a very competitive rate. Okay, I want to talk about some of their financial updates as of June 30th. This one's very important. Reduced total outstanding indebtedness by $1.8 million. So they continue to reduce their outstanding debt every single month with the intention of having their outstanding debt be zero at the halving. So they now only have $15.5 million worth of debt left as of June 30th. At one point, they had about $160 or $170 million of debt. debt. So they have almost completely eliminated their debt. This is one of the reasons I'm very optimistic about this company. This is what they said they were going to do. They've dedicated themselves and made a good plan, and it looks like they're almost all the way done getting their debt down to zero, where I think all these companies need to be going into the halving. So they added 39 Bitcoin to Treasury. So again, they're growing their Bitcoin hodl position slowly. That brings it up to 549 Bitcoin. They held 30 million in cash on the balance sheet, and they have 19 million in remaining credits and prepaid deposits to be applied against future mining purchase agreements. So there's some liquidity and some money they already have set aside for purchase of additional machines. And that is going to be crucial, because I do think that while they have not talked about all of this, I have my personal guesstimate, I will say, of where I think they're going to get by the halving, and I don't think anybody else is looking at this or thought about this yet. And again, this is my pure speculation, so I will walk through that. I think they're going to get somewhere between 9 and 10 exahash by the halving. They're at 5.3 exahash right now. They've been growing very, very slowly over the course of the last year, but their focus has been on shaping up their balance sheet and getting themselves positioned for growth going into the halving with a healthy balance sheet. So they have almost completed that process. Again, they've gotten rid of about $150 million in debt so far. Their debt's almost to zero. Now you can see that they have shifted their focus to starting to build out the rest of their infrastructure and add Bitcoin mining machines. How are they going to get to 9 or 10 exahash from the 5.3 that they're at right now? Well, I'm going to go through that right now. Let's take a look at the next press release. Okay, Bitfarms starts production in Baie-Comeau, Canada, and increases hash rate target to 6.3 exahash in Q3 of 2023. So there's the next exahash. They're at 5.3 right now. They already have the machines purchased and the infrastructure to get to 6.3 exahash. So the question is, how do they get from 6.3 to maybe 9 or 10? And that's basically over the course of the next 9 or 10 months, and that's going into the halving. So again, they have not said that they're going to do this. This is my speculation on what I think they're going to do. I think they've given us a lot of clues that they're going to do this. So I'm going to talk about the biggest clue by far. If we look here, on June 28th, they submitted a preliminary short-form base shelf prospectus. So this is a shelf offering for $375 million in shares of stock. So we looked at their market cap. Their market cap as of today was $391 million. This is almost the same amount of authorized shelf offering as the entire market cap of the whole company. Now, the first knee-jerk reaction would be to say, well, I don't want them to 100% dilute their company, right? This would double the amount of stock out there. Well, that would be if they did all of this right now and all of that at the current price. I think they're going to need to use less than half of this shelf offering to get to the 9 or 10 exahash that I'm talking about. So again, this is my personal opinion, but if you look at the price right now for machines, they just paid about $13 per terahash to get machines that were at about 28 watts. So highly efficient machines. So even if they had to pay somewhere between $13 or $15 per terahash, or even if it was a little bit more than that, you know, that's maybe only $70 or $80 million to get from here to there. This is $375 million. Now, they will need to build out some infrastructure as well. So even if we say that's another $70 million, that's maybe $140 or $150 million. So that's much less than half of this. Somewhere between a third and a half of this, in my opinion, is going to get them to 9 or 10 exahash by the halving. So I really want to reiterate that the company has not said any of this at all. I'm trying to read between the lines as I read all these press releases. This is my takeaway. This is what I think is going to happen. And that's why I think there's a lot of upside left to this stock. This is a big turnaround story because Bitfarms did have a very tough time. They made one decision that impacted them financially significantly. It took them probably 10 months to recover from that. And there was no telling that they were going to recover. But at this point, they've put that behind them, and they're now back in growth mode. And to me, about a year before the halving is when they started to get back into growth mode. So that was just in time, and the price of everything has come down so much. I think they're ready to get where they need to go. Okay, so the last thing I'll look at real quick before I get to the charts is this is the market cap of each company. Bitfarms is down here in 9th place, but you can see it's not just 9th place. They are significantly smaller than a lot of their competition. Marathon and Riot have run out ahead of everybody significantly. They're both over $2 billion market cap companies. You know, so they're 7 or 8 times the market cap of Bitfarms. So they are much bigger companies, but they're no more than maybe twice as big. So I can see them having double the market cap or triple the market cap, but 7 or 8 or 9 times the market cap to me doesn't make sense. If you look at some of their direct competitors, Hut, which has a very strong balance sheet, so they have that in their favor, but Bitfarms mines many more Bitcoin than Hut per month, yet they have less than half the market cap. Same thing with Cypher, right? They're neck and neck with Cypher every month. They mine virtually the same amount of Bitcoin, yet they're much less than half the market cap of Cypher. So I have been adding to this position, but that by no means am I recommending that you add to this position. But I do think it's worth having on your watch list and doing a deep dive on, because I think it's one of the top 3 undervalued Bitcoin mining companies. So with that said, let's take a look at the chart. Okay, so you're going to see this is Bitfarms on the 1-day time frame. So right now they're trading at around $1.62. I have a line back here, a green line. I have this on all of my Bitcoin mining charts. In August of 22, Bitcoin was $25,000, and Bitfarms at that time was trading at $2.33. So Bitcoin's now over $30,000, and Bitfarms is trading at $1.63. So that would be about a 44% increase just to get back to that number. They're a bigger company, they're a better company, they're more financially healthy. I think they have a lot of growth ahead of them. So to me, it makes absolutely no sense that they haven't even caught back up to the August 2022 price, particularly since Bitcoin itself is $5,000 higher than it was back then. So this is my super short-term price target. Obviously, Bitcoin has to continue to stay healthy in order for these companies to continue to rally. But I think if Bitcoin does stay healthy and rallies up into somewhere between, $32,000 and $35,000 over the next couple of months, I think this is a very, very easy price target. If we go back just a little further to May of 2022, Bitfarms was trading for $3.21. So that is very nearly a double from where they are right now. So I think this is a potential double by the end of the year or prior to the halving, and I actually think there's potential for this to be maybe even a triple or more. So we're going to have to see. That is very much contingent on a couple of things. Number one, the performance of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin can rally up to some of its higher numbers, not its previous all-time high, but if Bitcoin could rally back into the 40,000s, I think you could be looking at a double or triple in this. That's my personal opinion. So I always like to talk about the other side. If somehow Bitcoin does not rally or Bitfarms stumbles, it's a 76% to the downside to get back to Bitfarms lows from just over 6 months ago. So you can see these are high risk, high reward stocks. I like to remind everybody of that. So please, not financial advice. Do your own due diligence. Please be very careful trading these stocks. So if you made it this far in the video, please remember to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and hit the notification bell so that you never miss a video. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.